heard exactly 0 gobbles today. We didn't even hear a pity gobble today. But it is not for lack of trying. We tried a lot of calls. We threw the whole litany of calls right at them. Do you want to know which calls we used today? We brought them all with us. Which call did we use today, Genevieve? Which one did we choose?
Show them what we used. The Quaker Boy Waterproof Easy Yelper.
Easy Yelper. And I thought it sounded really good, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think for the most part we did a really good job. Good solid job. Didn't overcall. I told Genevieve that turkey calling to me is a lot like fishing. I mean, when you're fishing, you just cast and reel, cast and reel, cast and reel until you catch something, right? But
no,
that's not the approach that she wanted to take today. And I'm glad. There were times when she was slapping my hand, I was reaching for the Easy Yelper and just to throw out a few easy yelps, and she slapped my hand. Now, I used the Easy Yelper even though I had been working on those mouth calls. I will be using a mouth call when I get out there on my own, when I'm hunting on my own, I will use the mouth call. But this morning, this way, Genevieve could call a little bit, I could call a little bit. The Easy Yelper, to be honest with you, those little... that is a push-pull box call, right? Is what it's called.
Yeah.
That little call, those things are awesome. I mean, you just push the little thing and do a little demonstration for it. I mean, grab that thing. But the tendency with that thing is it's so simple to use. The tendency is to like look at it and say, well, I'm not a professional if I use that. I'm not a real hunter if I use that. But listen to this thing. This thing's awesome. It fools me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Plus, you just playing with it. You can cup your hand under it. It makes a little bit different sound than if you leave it open. You can hold it on the just wide open, and it makes a different sound, a higher pitched, more hollow sound, a fuller sound if you cup it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty handy little call. Pretty versatile little call. So it's a good one to have in your arsenal. That is for sure.
Yep.
We sighted in old Bunjie here yesterday, right?
Put an arrow in.
With Genevieve's help, we got that sighted in. Actually, only took 2 shots, 10 and 20 yards dead on. There's no reason to spend all day in the yard shooting. So came home from work, got that done, and we were rained out all week, so we didn't have a lot of opportunity to do that. So I was very happy that we finally sat down and did that. But we got that done very good. We set this blind up last week, so it's been sitting here for a week here at the Well Pad Food Plot. Now, I know the Well Pad Food Plot has seen better days. There's no doubt about that. I have not planted it in a year or so, so it's really kind of grown up. But there's a nice green stretch here along the woods, perfect for the decoys. I think we got a good clean shot here to set up on. We've got the hen decoy out there. Genevieve set the hen decoy up this morning, and I got to say, that is the best looking hen decoy ever. Mine always end up, when I set them up and I'm on my own, they get set up and they're crooked and they're leaning and, you know, the head's not pointing in the right direction or whatever else. And then I get back here, I think I do a good job, come back here and sit, and then it spins around in the breeze and all that stuff. With hers, it sat there looking away from us the whole day. I don't think there were any gobblers here. We never heard a single gobble. And we heard one shot, or very early in the morning, the neighbor to the north here, I think he got lucky very early in the morning. So more power to him. I think that's awesome. We did not have such fortune, but I don't think that we had any gobblers within eyesight seeing that decoy. I think if they had, they would have come in and he would have been all over that decoy. So we did have a good morning though, just the same. I had a whole bunch of messages of people asking me about the benches that I use in these blinds. When I set the blinds up, I have these really thick benches that we sit on. Big, sturdy benches. And they're nice and low. They're not real high. So I'm not stooped over the whole time trying to see out of the blind. I can sort of sit back a little bit. You can move them around within the blind. They're good for 2 people. They are a big, thick slab of button ball on top. It's like 2 inches thick. Button ball is sycamore. That's what my dad always called sycamore. Sycamore is those white trees that grow along the creeks and rivers and that sort of thing, real tall, and those with a shaggy white bark and gray bark and all that sort of thing. Sycamore is just a very hard wood. It's not good for an awful lot. It doesn't have a very distinct grain or anything like that. It's not particularly pretty, but it does work really nice for a bench or something like this because it's sturdy, it doesn't rot, and real heavy too, which is nice because once you get it in place, it sits there, sinks into the ground a little bit, and doesn't rock all over the place. I put treated lumber legs on them, and I've angled the legs out a little bit. People wanted dimensions of that, so I'll throw those on the screen here and show you what we're looking at as far as the overall size of those benches. But there's nothing special about them. I say build them to suit whatever it is you will be doing. For me, it's that particular height. That just worked out well for me. But a bench of that size, I think you need to custom build them for your blinds. Not all of mine are the same. This one I think is what we call, well, what do we name this one?
Which one is this one?
I think this is the Margaret. The Margaret, and we have another one we call the Mordecai.
Yeah.
Yep, and probably another one we call the Rigby.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're named after what now? Go ahead and tell people.
Regular show.
It's a cartoon we used to watch together. We still watch it from time to time. Actually, it's pretty funny, but that cartoon, we just named it after all that. So we have different benches. I can't tell one from the other, but we had to give them fancy names like that because it's something we made. It's lawn furniture. It's an elaborate line of lawn furniture is what it is. So it needs a fancy name like that. But people had asked about the sizes, so there's the sizes. So that about wraps up our nice little morning together. I hope she had fun. She really is actually more excited about it this year. She was excited. She asked to go with me this year. Normally I have to drag you out. This year she wanted to go. So that's nice. I mean, it's great that she's getting involved in this. We do have some other plans with old Genevieve here coming up, and we'll be revealing those soon. So that's kind of interesting. In the meantime, you're not going to school or nothing.
No.
So she's forgetting all that trigonometry that our tax dollars paid for.
Oh, I forgot it a long time ago.
Oh, great. That makes me, well, if it's any consolation, I forgot my trig education about 32 years ago or something like that. So 31 years ago. So don't worry about that. That left me a long time ago. Pennsylvania starts a little later than what I would like, but so be it. What we're going to do now, what are we doing now?
Trail cameras.
We got to check some trail cameras that we have. We will check those. Maybe post those on the Facebook page if you're interested in that. Some pictures from those. And we will keep hunting, keep sharing all this fun stuff with you. And until next time, all hail Bunjie. Hey, good job.
Yay.
Good job. That was good.
There.
All right. Just try and keep your face on the screen. How bad is my hair?
It's not bad.
Oh, it's bad. That's bad.
Oh, it's all right.
This is what it looks like when you don't have access to people to cut your hair.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is
And this.
bad. Oh, that's not good. This is my Scotty too hottie look. Is that better? Whatever covers up the hair, that's the important thing. It is what it is. What you do is you look at the camera just a little bit when you're done, so that way you have something to cut later on. See? We heard exactly 0 gobbles today. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
But that is not for okay, let's start over. I dropped my phone. We heard